Welcome back. Let's find out if we've got anything wrong so far. For that, we go to TV's Andy Levy. So, Andy, what's on your plate?
Greg, on your plate is a jazz fusion band out of Ames, Iowa, drawing inspiration from groups such as the Chick Corea Electric Band, Vital Information, and Bitches Brew era Miles Davis. On Your Plate is known for its sizzling live shows, which also feature art installations and extensive use of video, usually projected on scrims. OYP is frequently compared to the Mahavishnu Orchestra, though their latest album, Flash Flood, shows signs of an evolution, with Jazz Times calling them a worthy heir to the legacy of the world music-driven sounds of Weather Report.
Well, Andy, it sounds like these that I really value our friendship. Without it, how would I have ever heard of the band On Your Plate?
Well, maybe you wouldn't let your subscription to Jazz Times lapse.
I'd like to project you on a scrim.
Sounds delightful. Perhaps after the show.
Yes. I know a great scrim.
Excellent.
Yeah, just around the corner.
Good. I think you're just projecting. France recognizes Libya's opposition government. Greg, you said the spokeswoman for the Interim Transitional National Council gave her statement in mime.
Yes.
Can you say something in mime?
Yes, you can. She says, without you, we would have been trapped in a box. And we would have been walking against the wind holding a rope.
Okay.
I don't know.
Good for her.
Yes. Good for everyone.
Really. Mike, you said the bottom line is Gaddafi's got more and better weapons, more and better trained soldiers, etc., and the ragtag rebels don't have a chance. Have you never seen Star Wars?
Well, actually, no, I didn't say they don't have a chance, because what could well happen is, and by the way, I did see Star Wars, and yes, and who doesn't love Star Wars, the movie?
You don't, that too.
But the point being is that they do have a chance. What's going to happen is they're going to be beaten back in a traditional campaign, and then, you know, they may well retreat to the inner cities and turn this into an urban warfare situation, in which they could drag this on forever. Much like you did with On the Plate.
I seem to remember a ragtag force of rebels back in the 1770s did a pretty good job, Mike.
They did. That's what I'm saying. It could happen. It could happen.
Who are you talking about, Andy?
I don't know. All I know is Mike hates the founding fathers.
Yeah.
He's talking about. Remember those cute little furry things that fought?
Oh, the Ewok battle.
Yeah, that's what he's referring
Mike
to.
hates the troops and the founding fathers.
Oh, good. I'm going to
one-
stop you right there. I put up with a lot of things, but I don't put up with anybody saying that I hate the troops.
Might I add that you also hate the moon of Endor and the many delightful little creatures that defended it during the Stormtrooper rising.
Well, we all hate the moon of Endor. We all hate the moon of Endor.
We love the moon of Endor.
No, we really don't. Mike, you said if the Arab nations are calling for a no-fly zone, let them do it themselves, which is a fair point. I keep seeing quotes from Libyans asking, where is America? And part of me wants to answer, we're in the same place we were when you were cheering the return of the Lockerbie bomber on the right.
No, absolutely. You know what? I mean, as far as you know, this no-fly zone, you know, saddle your own bronc. You know, get out there, Arab nations, and do this yourselves. You've got the ability to. That's all I'm saying.
But let's not pretend that the Arab nations want a democratic Libya.
Well, let's not pretend the Arab nations are watching Red Eye. But
aren't they? Aren't they?
They may be, actually.
They may be.
I'm with them. They're not. I'm told.
Essie, are you surprised that President Obama isn't doing more to help his fellow Muslims, or do you chalk this up to the fact that Kenya and Libya have never liked each other?
I'm just so relieved that there wasn't a Star Wars reference in there. Felt like the only non-dork on this table right now.
Excuse me, I had no idea what they were talking about either.
Well, me and you, bro, me and you.
Yeah, but ask Greg a Sex and the City
Yes,
question.
I am outraged. I am outraged that Obama is not helping his Muslim or Kenyan people at the moment. I am outraged.
All right. Excellent.
Don't put me in a box.
All right. Never.
It's much like Star Wars Episode 3, isn't it, really?
Kill me now.
What's the title? No, I'll handle this, Andy. What's the title of Episode 3, Mike? If you're such a fan.
Wasn't it Return of the Kenobi?
Oh, good Lord.
I don't know.
I don't even know where I am right now.
All right.
You're a disgrace.
Andy?
Greg, you said 56% of Americans favor a no-fly zone. I believe that's over Michael Moore.
Ah.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
Yep.
Interesting.
It's dangerous up there. It's got
It really is.
gravitational pull and
It's
everything.
got an amazing tongue.
Yep.
Do you know how difficult it would be to enforce a no-fly zone over the space as large as Michael
That's
Moore?
what I'm saying. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the joke he was trying to make.
Well, I wanted to make it clear for the people who are watching.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate
That's
it.
okay.
Yeah. I'm going to pass on that. P.J. Crowley resigns. So let me get this straight. The spokesman for the State Department is forced to resign after not speaking for the State Department?
Yes.
That's weird.
It is weird.
You're just saying.
Shouldn't have that. Mike, you said Crowley was already on his way out. Don't you think what he did was basically the equivalent of committing suicide by cop?
I think you know what? That's a very good analogy. I think you're right. I think he knew he was going, and so speak your mind. What the hell?
Why not?
Walk out. I mean, I guess you could in a perverted way say he showed some real balls by doing that. But
absolutely.
Well, now I have to edit because you said it in a perverted way.
yeah, good point.
Mike, you also said that Bradley Manning engaged in an almost traitorous act, allegedly.
Allegedly, yes, yes, absolutely.
But that's we joke about that, but it's kind of the point. He's in pretrial confinement. He hasn't been tried yet, let alone convicted.
Yeah, I don't know that incarceration, regardless of the problem, is supposed to be comfortable. So,
but that's a straw man to say that it's the fact that he's not comfortable. The question is, are they going too far? Is the 23 hours, naked or whatever it is, all by himself? Is that punishment enough?
He's not naked for 23 hours. He's in a perfectly...
That's my point.
Yeah,
shouldn't he be? Wouldn't that be a lot more fun?
Oh yeah, believe me. I mean, I would review his current conditions and downgrade them significantly. But once again, people are trying to get out there saying that we're mistreating this guy somehow. And we lose the argument every time because we're feckless.
It's not a civilian court,
or do we lose the argument every time because we're not treating him properly?
No, you don't mean that. I know you don't mean that.
I just blew your mind, though, didn't I? Essie, how does an incarcerated Bradley Manning pose a danger?
Well, he doesn't incarcerate it, I imagine, although I'm not sure what kind of communication lines he has open. I mean, this is a guy who trades in information. I'm not sure that locking him up keeps that information under wraps.
He's not sitting there with an iPad.
Well, I don't know what he has. All I know is he's naked some of the time. Right. I don't know.
Aren't we all, though?
Look, before he goes to bed at night, he's forced to strip down so they can ensure that he has nothing in his cell that he can use to off himself. Exactly. Yeah, there is nothing wrong with that.
Or to email. Or
what about the solitary confinement?
It's sad that he can't hang out and talk with other people?
Yes.
Who cares? He did his crime.
He hasn't been tried yet.
What?
He hasn't even been tried yet.
This isn't a normal
You've got to stop acting as though he's been. It doesn't matter. You're still innocent until proven guilty under the UCMJ. He has been tried in the court
of public opinion, and we have ruled him guilty.
That's a fair point.
Andy, you have to comment on my Bradley Cooper joke, which was delightful.
I missed that. Saudi prince wants to let women drive. Bill Woodrow Wilson, who I agree was history's greatest monster, was elected in 1912. The 19th Amendment giving women the right to vote wasn't passed until 1920.
I've got a problem with the math on that one. I'm still blaming the ladies.
Okay. Maybe it might be the other way around.
Because women got the vote as a result of his corrupt and utterly morally bankrupt presidency?
What I'm saying.
No.
Wow.
The women built a time machine and went back and voted Woodrow Wilson in.
Women built something.
Yeah,
Greg, listen to yourself. God.
A time machine
and science,
something
with science?
Yeah.
Come on.
God.
Right.
I am disgusted and I'm leaving.
Yes.
In a huff.
As well you should. Coming up, what's with all these stupid sheepdogs? Up next, Essie Cupp discusses her new book, Stupid Sheepdogs and Their Ruthless Attack on the Right. But first, why does this guy leave naked pics of himself inside Walmart? I'll ask him when I get home. It's time now for a new segment inspired by a haircut. We call it News Mullet.
News Mullet!
Yes, just as the mullet adheres to business in the front, party in the back, so too shall we, discussing a serious story, then a fun one. We start at the front. According to London's Daily Mail, a paper Al-Qaeda has launched a women's magazine called The Majestic Woman. The 31-page mag combines conventional beauty tips with suicide bombing advice. Dubbed the Jihad Cosmo, the first issue features exclusive interviews with martyrs' wives who praise their husbands' decisions to blow people up. Also included tips on honey face masks, etiquette, first aid, and why readers should avoid, quote, toweling too forcibly. We can all relate to that at the Bally's gym. Essie, Al-Qaeda is now making crappy women's magazines. Does that mean the West has won?
It's amazing, actually. I can't believe this is your serious story, but whatever. No, I have a story pitch for them.
Yes.
Is your man going to leave you for 72 virgins? Take the quiz and find out.
Oh, I like that.
That's not bad.
Jihad Cosmo.
Nice. Baker,
I've got the answer for that. It's an extremist magazine. magazine? The answer, of course, is always yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So
He
it's a short
will.
article.
He will love you and leave you. So
Yes.
learn that, girls.
Friends.
Yes.
Is there any chance that this story is actually real? I mean, if it's real, then it's great because then you could actually trace them back and kill them all. But I have a feeling it's not real.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's been reported a bunch of places. My BS detector is going like this.
Yeah, if it were any other organization, you'd say, no, there's no way this could be happening. They have been involved in, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but an outreach program.
Right.
And I mean, they are very aggressively trying to identify and recruit people overseas. And, you know, we know that they use women in terrorist operations. And so, you know, as much as you'd like to think this is just some spoof, you know, created by, you know, Ayman Zawahiri, who's got a hell of a sense of humor.
Yeah, he does.
I think it actually may be true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bill, like Porch, you have applied for an internship at the magazine. Have you heard anything?
Not yet, but fingers crossed. I've actually opted for a bathhouse version of that magazine to get to another part of their population, and it's sort of an outreach around program that they're doing. It's very much like the ladies, but just we add a little extra. Hey, America.
Drink that water.
It's the way he tells him.
All right. On to the second topic, a.k.a. Party in the Back. An Ohio man has been arrested after he put naked photos of himself in and around a Walmart. I didn't even know that was illegal. Anyway, 44-year-old Rodney Kunkel was identified, there he is, looking sexy, by the staff as the perv in question because the photos found at the scene were developed at the store photo center.
Amazing.
Very, very smart man. The sexy pictures featured Kunkel standing in a kitchen dressed in black nylons, high heels, and pink lingerie. Essie, how is this a crime?
Well, it's a crime against the heart.
Yeah.
No, allow me, if you will, to blow your mind.
Sure.
This guy has a girlfriend.
Yes. Yeah, he does.
Does he, though, or is his girlfriend him?
She was quoted. She was
You
quoted
can do a lot
in
of
the
stuff with
story.
Photoshop, Greg.
No, she was quoted in the story as saying, "Yeah, he likes to dress up like a woman at home a lot. I've seen."
But he.
And then she
But
started
he- no,
in her face.
He had told the reporter to call back and he'll get his girlfriend
Yes.
on the line.
Exactly.
His girlfriend.
Hey, Mikey, couldn't he have found a better outlet for sharing these pictures, like
Thank you.
something called the internet?
Are you kidding? Do you know, I mean, once you put something on the internet, you can't get rid of it. It's always there. So,
True.
I mean, I think he was showing some pretty good, you know, personal security awareness by
Papering Walmart.
Put it in a Walmart.
don't do this at home, by the way. And look at that man. Can you imagine that man in, what was he wearing? High heels?
Nylons.
Oh, I can imagine it.
In a dress.
I don't even have to imagine it. I can just live it.
The other
Hey,
thing
Bill,
is, I was imagining it before I even read the story.
yeah.
I really was.
Bill,
Before you even know.
could this be called some kind of ingenious performance art in which he's turning Walmart into a living embodiment of the web? That if you go in there, you can find pictures of himself. I think it might be an artistic act.
Because that's the thing. That's why Walmart should not consider New York City as one of their places. Because in New York City, this guy would be exalted in Williamsburg. This would be celebrated.
That is such
And
a good-
Walmart would go to jail for
Are you
complaining.
kidding? Here he'd have trouble
Look how
finding
much
space to
you
put
look
his
like.
photos.
He could be your half brother or a real
Well,
father.
I'm him when he's dressed as the girl.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I'm his girlfriend.
Oh, in British.
I just want my last word on this. I find it troubling that he chose Walmart. I would have figured him to. You would have more fun at a TJ Maxx.
Sure.
I just like Target.
I thought you were going to say Home Depot or something.
Target.
No, Home Depot, you would never would have made it. The people would have thrown you out.
Yeah,
And also think what he would have done with the power tools.
Yeah, we won't. We don't want to repeat what happened over Christmas. All right, time to take a break. Coming up next, I'm not entirely sure. It's the greatest argument against bullying ever. In Australia, a country?
Both.
Can't remember. A smaller boy starts messing with a bigger boy because he thought he could.
Huh? What do you mean talking shit? What are you talking to? What? You laughing at ya?
Go, Richard goes. Wow, this is getting sad, bro. Look, guys, just keep recording. Keep recording. Look at that. Who's that in the background?
What was the jet car? What is it? Cut your ass! I think you need to back off from me. You're right. You're right.
The Husky boy, identified as 16-year-old Casey Haynes, reportedly was suspended for slamming the bully to the ground. He's also become something of a hero. Viewers of the video, which has gone viral, have taken to calling him Little Zangief.
What is that?
I don't know. After the character from Street Fighter. But this brings up an interesting point that, like, a lot of people don't realize. Big kids are often more bullied than little kids because the little kid expects the big kid will be too scared to fight back because then he'll look like a bully. Penn Jillette used to talk about this because people would come up to him and punch him in the face because they expect you to take it. And I think this should be shown in every school.
I've never tried to bully a guy bigger than me, but yet I often walk to work in much the same way that guy was after he hit the ground. I'll just sort of stumble in the morning.
In this case, the kid in red is actually beer. In Bill's life.
That's me coming in this morning, right there.
Right, you know what? But hey, you watch that video and you see how the big kid, Casey Haynes, he tried to just let it ride, right? He tried. He let it go. He let it go. He let it go, and then he did what is correct. At a certain point, you do what you can to avoid it. But kids, if you're getting bullied, you can turn the cheek a couple of times, but then if it keeps on going, you
turn the fist.
Fist of fury.
Hey, do I have time for my drawing? All right, last week I told you how much I enjoy sleeping inside hedges, and I still do. Hate this collar business. There we go. All right.
It's not your collar, it's your thing.
All right, there we go.
It's covering the stain.
But I also love charity, so let's get to the bidding of my new piece of art. As you know, it's Lesbian Unicorns in Love. We've been bumped a couple of times. Right now, the highest bid is $400 from Lori out of Phoenix, who also requests autographs from her three favorite guys, which I'm assuming means me and my two roommates, Scott and Orson. They're flight attendants with washboard abs. Meanwhile, viewer Vince asks if the unicorns are strictly gay or bi.
Good question.
To which I answer, does it really matter? Sir, they're unicorns. They transcend our trite human concept of sexuality, meaning they'll bang anything. They're dirty, dirty little creatures. You want a piece of art? You email your bid to redeye@foxnews.com to be considered. The bid's closed by Friday. And as you know, all the money goes to Wounded Warriors Project. And remember, let's not forget the real message. It's not about charity. It's about me being awesome. All right, we're going to close things out with the post-game wrap-up from TV's Andy Levy. To see clips of recent shows, go to foxnews.com/. Coming up tomorrow on the next Red Eye, return appearances from Diana Salvone and Nick Gillespie. Time to go back to TV's Andy Levy for the post-game wrap-up.
Thanks, Greg. Hey, Essie, how was your little trip to Jamaica?
It was okay. The SE Cup show was dark last week, so I went on a little holiday to Jamaica. And I have a travel tip. If you go to Jamaica, bring your own ketchup. Theirs is weird.
Oh,
how so?
Well, it's a little sweet, Andy, and there's like a little curry flavor to it. It tastes terrible on everything.
I'm sorry. It sounded like you said a little crunch to it.
No. A little curry. It's a little curry flavor to it.
Okay.
So
right.
I was not a fan, but now I know. Bring my own ketchup.
All right.
Good for you.
So next time you go to Jamaica, you will bring your own ketchup.
BYOK.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell I have to stretch?
Yeah. Let's talk some more about ketchup.
Yeah. Mike, what you got tonight?
I don't have anything on condiments, but I do have a request that anybody watching, if they have nothing else to do and they're in front of their computer, go to networkforgood.org and give what you can to the CIA Officers Memorial Foundation. They do a terrific job, although well behind the scenes, in taking care of families of officers who have been killed in action. That's networkforgood.org, CIA Officers Memorial Foundation, and it's a terrific cause.
Oh, maybe I'll do some artwork for that.
Yeah. That would be great.
I'll do that. I'll start doing that next month.
I would love that. Thank you, and they would love that.
Problem solved.
Cool. Bill, anything you want to
add?
Well, I had a travel tip to what SE said. I actually did a travel story on Kingston, Jamaica, a couple years back.
Sure.
And as I see, I tell you, that's not the normal place you would want to go.
Right.
When going to Jamaica.
I didn't
so if you
go there.
ever go to Kingston, try not to get shot in the face. That is my travel tip to you and yours, Andy.
Did you bring your own blood?
Huh? I did. And it tasted a little like curry.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
It was very odd. Very odd.
Okay. Greg, how was your weekend?
My weekend was uneventful, but I'd like to plug a few things.
That's
Bill
what
in
she
the face.
said.
No. You, Andy, Bill, and I, we will be doing hosting the John Gibson radio show on Thursday.
Yes.
For the whole, I guess, 3 hours.
Noon to 3, I believe.
Noon to 3.
Eastern
That'll be
time.
fun. And then I'll be hosting Fox and Friends, or I'm scheduled to host Fox and Friends on Saturday morning from 6 to 10. And we have Dr. Bodden on tomorrow night, so send your Dr. Bodden questions into me at Twitter or reddit@foxnews.com. And at that point, I'm going to tell you to go away, Andy, because you disgust me. SE Cup, a delight. Phil Schultz, a disgusting person. Mike Baker, always a pleasure having you on. I'm Greg Gutfeld, and you know what? I shall see you in the future. Yeah.